If you haven't seen the campaign commercial with Forging Elite Fitness, my only critique was that it had too much barbell and too much gear, too much sleeves and belt and all that bullshit. Like, it was a great commercial. There's so many good things about it, and there was a lot of variants, and I really love that it showed, like, for example, like, you have these 3 photos, like, you have, not just male, female, but you have the notion that it's an inclusive program. Like, these aren't CrossFit Games athletes. These are just your normal day-to-day people who want to show up to the gym to be challenged, learn new things, and to grow. And that simple statement right there is what Forging Elite Fitness really means. And Forging Elite Fitness, as it was the beginning phases of the brand, right? When CrossFit was first out in the early 2000s, it was CrossFit Forging Elite Fitness. And I think a lot of times it probably was just kind of blown over a lot of people's heads in the beginning phases. But then as the CrossFit Games grew and as the CrossFit culture grew, it attracted a lot of individuals who really wanted to take the next step in pushing themselves. Or because the Games was marketed so much that, the Games athletes were shown as these tip of the spear people that did the CrossFit methodology, as that was the expectation for what people were going to get when they stepped into a CrossFit gym. But in reality, out of all these affiliates worldwide, that was, again, less than 1% of the population that actually did CrossFit and the CrossFit methodology. And so that notion of Forging Elite Fitness maybe was not expressed in the way that it was always intended to, and that how it's always been. And so when people are saying, like, it's back, Forging Elite Fitness is back, it's never gone anywhere. It just maybe wasn't as expressed as much because CrossFit HQ and, people who were affiliate owners in the past or whatever thought it was too intimidating as a way of branding yourself. And it wasn't attracting the general population of people that we wanted to get into our gym. But always the CrossFit motto was, like, we are for everyone. What we do is for anyone, but it's not for everyone. We can take your person who's never moved, get them off the couch, even if they're 50 years old, and we can give them a game plan to make them so much better in their human potential than they ever thought. But they have to. It's a two-way process. They have to be willing to take that step. They have to be willing to have this forging of an inner fire within them. And when we started defining, like, what does Forging Elite Fitness really mean, the first part I talk about with forging is it's an inner fire. It's a mantra. It's a saying to yourself that I'm going to be better. I'm going to do something that is going to take me to a place that's elite. And when I say elite, I'm not saying CrossFit Games tip of the spear elite. I'm saying it's an awareness of a mindset that you are going to do something that's going to be hard and challenging, but you're aware that I am going to be better in so many different ways. And that's like, before I get to fitness, like, that's what doing your first CrossFit workouts like. Like, I remember my first CrossFit workouts, and it was truly a great awakening. Like I say, it's this psychedelic awakening within yourself that, wow, like, what, first of all, you're curious. What did I just experience? What did I just go through? And how do I have more of that? And that could either scare you away. I can't do this. I'll never be able to do this. Or that can make you extremely curious and realize that you have a whole system of accountability, the coaches, the community, to continue to push you forward. So that elite is that awareness. And then the fitness is this way of being. It's this contrarian way of being, because when the Forging Elite Fitness and all this stuff in the very early days was out, it was so contrary to what was standardized before CrossFit, which was really nothing. There was no clear definition of what is fitness. Greg Glassman, the CrossFit community, standardized, created a definition: constantly varied functional movement, high intensity, work capacity across broad time and modal domains, using the 4 pillars, the 10 components of fitness, the Hopper model, the metabolic pathways, the sickness, wellness, fitness continuum. All that defines fitness. It's not just, being able to do this, this, and that. It's the resiliency, this ability to adapt yourself to so many different things that translate to so many different things outside of the gym. So Forging Elite Fitness, right? It's a mantra. It's a saying to yourself, right? This inner fire that I want to be better. The elite is an awareness. It's a mindset of you taking action. And not just taking action in a way that there's going to be challenge, there's going to be hardships, there's going to be adversity. Just like that Justin Fields post, it's not going to be easy. You're going to have moments of doubt. You're going to have moments of questioning yourself. But then that curiosity always comes back because of the fitness. Because that it's going to create a way of being for yourself that sets a standard. And it's a standard that could be contrary, because you now hold yourself to this deeper meaning of what fitness is. The 10 components, the Hopper, the metabolic pathways, the lifestyle continuum, right? You have the work capacity across broad time and modal domains. You have this ability to adapt and be resilient to so many different variables and stimuluses inside and outside of the gym. That's Forging Elite Fitness. It has nothing to do with your ability. It has every single thing to do with your inner forge, your mindset, your way of being, of taking action. That's deep. It's philosophical. Everything for me is philosophical. I'm a shaman. I'm a spiritual shaman. Right? I work with source. Simple. That's how I talk. That's how I feel. And and even Forging Elite Fitness, I'm really passionate about this. Here's why. Let me just go on a quick tangent for you guys, because again, this is a lot for me, because I think to myself sometimes, like, why have I always stayed at a CrossFit affiliate? And for a lot of our members that don't even know, back in these days with CrossFit, that there were so many periods, not just one, not just like the 2020 years and all that. Like, there's so many periods of seeing affiliate owners and people with CrossFit just deciding that they want to de-affiliate, they want to move on, they want to rebrand, to XYZ Fitness or whatever, Community Fitness, or I want to go from CrossFit to weightlifting to this. And like, people shifted because they had this expectation from CrossFit HQ and the brand and Greg Glassman to do this, and that for them. And I can understand from a lot of those perspectives. But I never thought about rebranding, de-affiliating. Yes, even if CrossFit just stopped, I have my business name is Mad Fitness and Performance, MFP. I have that as a backup, but I don't plan on going anywhere unless they decide to charge me $10,000 a month or something. Whatever. But I stayed loyal to the brand, you could say Forging Elite Fitness, but really this deeper meaning of what CrossFit truly is done. And it has created this global collective consciousness of exactly what I just explained within Forging Elite Fitness. And again, there's never, ever, and there never will be any fitness brand, pseudo fitness brand that has done or will continue to do what CrossFit has done. And it's as deep as or simple, you could say, as when back in 2015 when I used to go to the airport and I was wearing CrossFit Nanos, and then I see someone else wearing CrossFit Nanos, Reebok back, all Reebok people know. And it was like, that motherfucker does CrossFit. We're family. Let's fucking go. It might be Nike Metcons, but now it's like, do they do CrossFit? Do they not do? Are they wearing, the Go Rucks or the Fluxes? But it was like, when you wore Nanos, you fucking knew. You knew. It was seeing someone do a deep squat. CrossFit did some really valuable, important things to shift the collective consciousness of the way we think about fitness. One, it made deep squatting, full range of motion, standardized repetitions a thing. It made females doing fucking ring muscle ups like that video Nasty Girls, not how you would think, the actual the workout Nasty Girls with the 3 females doing fucking strict muscle ups. It made that fucking cool. In the collective global consciousness. Women doing fucking pull-ups, strict pull-ups, and being badasses. Strong, independent, bad bitches. Males too. It made you want to, maybe not, but for me, want to pick up my groceries from the store, park as far away as I can and carry my groceries because I can. And so when I come back to the statement, we're the fittest human beings in Haverford Township, we are. Not just by the program that we do, right, at MFP, but by the way we integrate this ethos of Forging Elite Fitness. So, it's deep. CrossFit is a worldwide phenomenon, and it is just a great time to be a CrossFitter because of this resurgence of Forging Elite Fitness in the way that it was always intended to be. And we still have a lot of people to reach. And again, I don't want to continue to knock down, whatever performance, fitness, Orange 45, burn, body, X training, boot camp, whatever. If that gets you moving, it makes you feel accomplished, great. But it's not forging, it's not elite, and it's not fitness. It's not. End rant. Bang. I had to get all that off my chest. So I will continue to stay loyal to the brand. Continue to stay loyal to this. I just knew that when I did CrossFit, I was doing something that was way bigger than myself. That's Forging Elite Fitness. That's a deep spiritual thing right there. I'm doing something that's far greater than myself, making a positive impact on the collective consciousness of this global society that is far greater than myself. And I knew that intuitively. That's the shaman part of it. That there's a psychic download that I got when I first did CrossFit. I'm like, there's something to this. Just like when I had cancer and I had that download of like everything's happening for a reason. And I've talked about, the law of mentalism and where thoughts come from in an earlier podcast. So we're not going to go that deep spiritually, but if a shaman's telling you fucking this is the way to go, this is the fucking way to go. All right. God wants you to do fucking CrossFit.